to call to order this meeting of the July 9th, 2013 Plan Commission.
Sandy, do you
And-
have it recording?
Oh, no, thank you.
Thanks.
Record. Thanks for the reminder. Again, I'd like to call this meeting to order for the Plan Commission, July 9th, 2020. And I'm going to say the Pledge of Allegiance for all of us, and you can say along with me, but if we all try to say it together, it's just a rumbled up mess. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Now, Denise, we would like a roll call, please.
Sandra Hash,
I am definitely here.
Terry Baker, Don Calvert,
Here.
David Drake,
Here.
Pam Samples,
Here.
Dan Swafford,
Here.
Pat Wesolowski.
Here.
Thank you.
And Denise, I did not receive the minutes yet. Have you? Would you like to table those again?
Yes, please.
Okay, it's been a crazy time at Town Hall. As you all know, we were closed for a couple of months and then we've just had a hard time getting everything caught up. So we will pass over, or could I have a motion to table the meeting minutes for March the 5th and June 11th?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Hey, Sandy,
think-
who was the second?
David.
David Drake.
Okay, thank you.
Sandy, you have to do a roll call too on Zoom meetings for everything.
Oh, we do? Okay, Denise, then you want a roll call for that table, please?
Sure. Sandra Hash,
Yes.
Don Calvert,
Yes.
David Drake,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, our first item on new business, first of all, I guess, is monthly conflict of interest. Does any of the Plan Commission members have a conflict of interest on any of the agenda items?
I'll not be voting on Centennial.
Okay, I don't think we have a centennial this time.
You
And-
have the,
He's
Sorry.
talking about,
Starbucks?
no, he's talking about the findings.
Oh, the findings. Okay. I'm
Because-
sorry, that is, I don't have that listed. I must have picked up an older agenda. Where are the findings listed on the agenda?
under old business.
Okay, so that's be the first thing on our agenda. The findings, let's see, I've got a copy of the findings. Okay, so Don has a conflict and will not be voting on this item, but Darla has presented some findings from the last Plan Commission meeting on June 11th, when we discussed the Highland Park Estates. And so, is there any questions on the findings? Okay, seeing none. Darla, would you, I guess I should have asked you to explain them before I ask if anybody had any questions, because they don't know what to question.
It will, as the Plan Commission is aware, when you grant a petition for a preliminary or final plat approval, you're required to make written findings. And so what I did essentially is I went through Kevin's report and I went through the video on
Carry 'em
tap
halfway up.
and pulled out comments that were made by
Facing around.
petitioner, remonstrators, and the Plan Commission members to put together the findings. And the purpose of the findings is just to explain the Plan Commission's decision and why a particular decision is based on the comprehensive plan or the code. And so that's what I've done. So these are before you for your approval.
Okay, and that does require all of our signatures. So we'll have to get our signatures at a later date. But at any rate, does anyone now have any questions? Okay, seeing none, then I would request a motion to approve Plan Commission written findings of fact conclusions and decision in reference to petition PC 20-07.
This is David Drake. I move that we approve those findings.
I second it.
Pat Wesolowski,
Thank you.
roll call, please.
Sandra Hash,
Yes.
David Drake,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Dan, you're muted.
Sorry. Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you for preparing them, Darla.
Okay.
The next item on the agenda is development plan approval for Starbucks located at 4257 North, how do you say that?
North Tupelo Drive.
Tupelo? Okay, thank you. Drive, Bloomington, 1 acre. The petitioner is Monon Retail Holdings, and the case number is PC 20-08. Kevin?
All right, I will go through this briefly. Looks like everything came up, so that's good. Just kind of bear with me as I scroll through things. The development plan request is for a new Starbucks that would be located at North Tupelo Drive, which is, for reference, just to the east of McDonald's on the north side of 46. This is the Cedar Bluff Apartments and Townhomes, and it'd be located right off of 46. There's a little drive that comes up to the north where it'll access into the parking lot, and you'll see that better in the site plan. I don't know if I want to go through. There's a number of findings for Plan Commission. I can go through those if you'd like. We go through these every time. Please let me know, and I will go back to them. In the meantime, just kind of some pictures for a little more context. You can almost see the Golden Arches way back in the background. This is looking west on 46. This is a little stub street that comes out, and this, where the sidewalk ends is about where the entrance would be into the Starbucks parking lot. And this is looking to the north from that stub. We did have a technical review meeting back on the 30th, I believe. There were a few minor comments. Everything has been, all the comments have been addressed, the plans have been revised, and I have the updated plans in here. So everything should be good to go from the technical side. Let's see, get to the plans. Okay. Here is the site plan. And as you can see, 46 here, Tupelo Drive coming up here, the driveway coming in. I think we figured the drive-through line could hold about 15 vehicles before it backed out onto Tupelo Drive, which would probably hold another 5 vehicles. So I believe we're safe from anything backing up into 46. I know Starbucks can generate quite a bit of traffic, but I think we'll be fine. Traffic will kind of circulate around this little landscape island for parking and people eating inside.
This is Pat. I can't see what you're saying because I can't see it visually. Are you saying where you go up to the condos? Is that at Tupelo Drive?
No, it's the drive before that. Is my screen not showing up on yours, or
No, I can't.
are you
I can't.
on a phone?
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay. All right.
Closer to the convenience store there, is that the one you're talking about?
It's going to be the drive right by the gas station.
Okay, the one that's got to cut in off of 46 now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And that will be the only way to get to it. You won't be able to get to it from, I believe Cypress is the other drive that runs back to the condos and the apartments.
Okay.
I mean, eventually there'll be, Tupelo will wrap around to Cypress, but that's longer range.
Thank you.
Sure. Let's see, landscape. Where am I at? Site layout. Oh, landscape plan. I got those backwards. They will be putting in few street trees in accordance with the PUD guidelines. I don't remember exactly what kind. A mix of pine and I think eastern redbud. I can't read that in small print. Some sort of shade tree that's approved. It'll look nice. I'm going to show the elevations. And kind of the front of the building actually will be facing to, I believe that's facing to the north. This part right here. I gotta look back to site plan now. I've been doing so many other things that I forgot which is which. The drive-through comes around the 46th side. And yeah, the main entrance will be facing Tupelo. And I hope someone corrects me if I got that wrong. So this should be facing Tupelo. This will be the opposite side of the building. This is the drive-through side facing 46. This is the side on the opposite. This is the opposite of the drive-through side.
How far will the building be from 46?
It will meet the building setbacks. Let me see if I can. Site plan. So it looks like from the property line, it'll be, well, the drive-through window where that cuts out at is a little over 41 feet. The rest of the building be at 46 feet.
Thank you.
Mhm. That is all I have as far as my part of it. I can answer any more questions. I believe I saw a couple people with Starbucks in the meeting that may be able to add to it if need be or answer any questions.
Is Monon local? The people building it?
I believe they're out of Indianapolis. Not 100% certain on. Actually, I can look. I have the application. Let's see. No, yeah, their address is listed as Indianapolis.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? I mean, I'm excited to see a Starbucks come to town. And I know that Kevin's met with all the supervisors, as he said, and that they've met all the town requirements. So is there any other questions concerning the building and or any other thing about the plan? Is there
No,
anyone that,
It's a great thing that we're getting one. It shows that Ellettsville is growing.
yes.
love-
Is there anyone from Monon or that would like to speak or say anything to the Plan Commission?
Yeah, this Trent Baxter. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Trent Baxter with Versatile Construction Group. I'm the engineer that developed the plans for Monon development. So yeah, they are out of Indianapolis, and they're really excited. This is a 2,202 square foot Starbucks, and it'll have an outside patio for people to sit. Also, we've got about 22 seats inside, about 12 seats outside. So it should be a good project. I think as far as stacking goes, we have 9 from the window to the entrance to the drive-through, and I think we can put a lot more if we wrap them around. So I don't think stacking is going to be an issue before it gets out to Tupelo. Other than that, yeah, I think we've we've pretty much met everything that's required. I do have a question for Kevin, though. I'm trying to get a hold of someone from East Richland Sewer Corp. I tried to look them up online. I just can't seem to get the right number. So if you could email me that tomorrow, I can go ahead and get the sanitary to them and see if we can get approval.
This is Denise. I have that information. I'll email it to you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much, Denise.
Brent, this is Pat Woloski. What's your projected time to have it completed?
Well, they would like to get started as soon as possible, and this project will be probably a 180-day project. So we're actually a design build firm. So my company, I'm in charge of the engineering department. My partner does the general contracting, and we've got our contracts lined up. And as soon as we can get our permit, we'll be ready to break ground.
Thank you.
My only comment is I'm really excited. It's just, it would have been nice to be on the eastbound lane for the people who live west of town and head to Bloomington to work. But I think people like Starbucks enough, they'll go ahead and turn in. Any other questions at all? Anyone from the audience have a question on the plan?
Any idea how many jobs this will create locally?
Not really. Usually they have 5 to 6, 7 employees maximum shift. So they'll, it just depends. It depends on how many shifts they run. And so, yeah, that'd be a question that I probably couldn't answer because I'm not with the corporate people. My client, we do a lot of these Starbucks, but we do them through a third party, so I don't get involved too much with corporate. But I do know we'll have probably 5 to 7 people working there at the largest shift.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, should we move toward a vote and have a motion?
I
have a quick,
Oh, I see a hand up in the audience.
yes, I just had a quick question. On the entrance to Tupelo, is that going to be a 2 or 3 lane to have an entrance in and then 2 lanes to turn, especially when you're turning against traffic? I was just curious.
Yeah, Tupelo, it's already put in, so I believe they've got a left and right turn because it's a little wider at the entrance, but I think it's going to be tight. It's probably only going to be 1 lane in and 1 lane out. It is, like I said, a little wider there on 46 that if someone's turning left, that they could probably hug the line and you could get a car going right.
Okay, thank you. I was just curious because I know it's a busy road, and especially when you're trying to turn against traffic.
Yeah.
In the morning, it could potentially back up and be a problem.
Yeah, I've got a survey of that. I'm trying to see what the dimensions are. It is wider there at the entrance, so I do think you could be able to get 3 car wides across there. So a left turn out, right turn out, and a turn in.
Okay. Anything else? I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak if they'd like. Okay, I guess we're ready to move forward with the motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the site plan for Starbucks development on Tupelo Drive. David Drake.
I'll second it.
Did Pat second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call?
Sandra Hash,
Yes.
Don Calvert,
Yes.
David Drake,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I do have one question, Sandy.
Yes, go right ahead.
You know, when they built the, and Don Kelber probably can attest to this, when they built that station there next to it, they had a problem with lighting. Have we discussed or about having our down lighting instead of the bright lights shining in there?
I can actually answer that. They Cedar Bluff has lighting requirements, and that is part of the technical review. So it's supposed to be 0. I can't remember if it's foot candles or how it's measured at the perimeter of the property. And for the most part, it's at most it might be like 0.4, and that's not towards another property. So there shouldn't be any issue with light spillage on other properties.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to check on that, because I know when they built that station, we had a problem there. So, thank you.
Okay, so we're ready to move on now to the preliminary plat approval for Charlestown Manor, Phase 2, North Triple Crown Drive, 104 lots. The petitioner is Barty Home Builders, LLC, case number PC 20-09. Kevin?
All right, let me see if I can get my screen back up here and try this again. Worked first time. Hey, there we go. Well, maybe. Yeah, there it is. All right, so this is for phase 2 of Charlestown Manor, which is 104 lots, and essentially is everything else in Charlestown Manor, other than the first 25 lots, and those are starting to go quickly. All single-family homes. We had a tech review meeting, same time we did Starbucks on the 30th. No real concerns were brought up. They will be adding a second entrance as required per code, and that entrance, I'll show you in one of the site plans. You're not going to be able to see it on this map very well. It's basic subdivision, not really a whole lot to tell about it. Got a few pictures of showing where it's going to continue. This picture here is taken on Triple Crown Drive, and you can see they're starting to get ready to do some infrastructure work just to the north of there, and lots of fields. I really like the entrance they put in. This is coming directly off 46.
Can you make that picture a little bigger for us, Kevin?
Sure. I don't know how clear it came in, but
Yes,
bigger.
it looks great.
So yeah, I mean, I think what they've done out there looks really good. And like I said, this is off 46. This will be their construction entrance for the rest of the homes to be built. And let me get down into the actual plans. Make these a little smaller so you can actually see them. And looking at this is the entire project, phase 1, phase 2. 46 is, where are we at here? Yeah, this is 46, kind of in the northwest. Well, this isn't facing north. It's in the top left corner. So they're actually, phase 2 will have 3 lots in the cul-de-sac down here that were not part of phase 1, and everything else will be going south on Triple Crown Drive. This map's got my directions all screwed up. So as you can see, there'll be quite a few cul-de-sacs in here. This is the connection to further south point that will connect back in through Westbrook Downs. Is basically an emergency access. I don't anticipate that being used other than if something happened out here for it to be blocked. But we require that so that, if something does happen, we don't have, 125 homes trapped.
Kevin, one thing I noticed on that Westbrook Downs connection is, and I looked on the county GIS, and it looked like from the property line shown that there was actually part of a garage that was actually encroaching into that right of way. I don't know how accurate those property lines are on the GIS, but I just wondered about that.
That was my understanding too, and I believe I think I saw Doug Graham on here who did the drawings for this, and maybe I'll speak a little more to that. I mean, it's definitely platted right of way, and you're right, it did. I don't think
I just
have
wondered
that
if there was
picture.
enough left of the right of way that they could still fit the road in there, even with the garage there, or whether they'd have to take it down, or what they'd have to do.
I don't remember. I know that's been discussed. I don't remember the answer to that offhand. I'll let Doug Graham answer that.
You know, guys, I'm opening up the file right now. I saw that back when we started phase 1, and I don't believe that's in there now. I'm opening up the file now. We sent our guys out there just as late as yesterday to fill out some more measurements to show that, you know, that ditch out there that's right along there, how that ties in. And if you give me a minute, I will open that up here. Because no one has come to me and said, hey, what are we going to do with this garage? So I thought that maybe it was clear. It was just the GIS that, you know, that can be off as much as 30 feet easily. So
Yeah.
It's opening up right now. I'm sorry, I should have had it open.
While he's looking at that, for that, this is Pat. Will that road be paved?
Yes.
Yeah, it would have to be.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, I pulled the GIS up on my phone to take a look at it, and yeah, I mean, like you said, the GIS could be off a little bit there. Those lines, I mean, I can't imagine the county would have allowed that to be built going out in the right of way. And
Yeah,
that
it's not a big deal. I just noticed it and just
Yeah.
figured I'd bring it up. If
I
they've
know-
already looked into it, then that's fine.
I know on the north side of the highway, I ran into this during Tractor Supply, and those lines were like 40 feet off. So
Yeah. Well, no, that garage is north, directly north of where the road is going to be. There is like a riprap swale of some sort, a crushed stone swale, something like that. And those garages are north of that. So there's
Okay.
a big pipe there that's feeding that riprap swale. It'll be on the north side of that platted right of way. So that's been unused or used for drainage for some time now.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, there'll be a plethora of trees put in. Street trees as required for code. Everything meets our code requirements.
Now, I might point out there, if you let me butt in again there, of course, all those trees aren't going to be put in because there's driveways, right? But we don't know where they are now, so those are at your 40-foot required spacing.
Yeah, those will, I mean, it'll get worked around a little bit. As do
Didn't
all
want
of
to
our
mislead anybody,
subdivisions.
yeah.
But yeah, I can take any questions you have on this at this time, or if you have any more questions for Doug, feel free.
Well, I'll just say it looks very nice driving up in there off of 46. I was up in there about a week or so ago, and it really looks nice going in there. Very elegant.
Yeah, those terraces are really pretty.
Yes.
Yeah, the entrance looks really nice. I was really surprised. I just went up there a week ago, last week, to see, and I remember whenever we were talking about these plans originally, it was going to be like maybe more affordable homes, and even some apartments were discussed at one point. So when I went up there, I was pleasantly surprised at the home the home sites are beautiful. And their mailboxes, I think they're going to try to make them all match, and they're like specially made mailboxes that are very attractive. So I was very impressed. It's still very much under construction, but the houses that were completed were absolutely beautiful.
Remind me, well, this is Pat again. When we first was looking at this, was there any mention of having strip mall on each side of that driveway, or some type of commercial of going into the
Yes,
houses?
right on 46, that lot is commercial. Like the east side of it's commercial, the west side of it's reserved for detention. But it's
Okay.
a pretty small site.
Is there plans of putting anything commercial in there?
Well, it was reserved for commercial, and we've tried to theorize about what kind of a building and parking might go in there. But as far as I haven't been advised as anything.
We haven't.
You don't have anything in mind, so okay.
Not that I know of. That doesn't mean that someone else does.
Right.
No one
Okay.
has mentioned anything to us about it yet.
Okay. Because I think that would take away from the uniqueness of going into there. That's what I was thinking. But whatever's whatever.
Well, that's your guys' job to make sure something nice goes in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of a triangular piece there. I see it now on the map when you go back to the map that showed the whole subdivision.
Sandy?
Yes,
Yeah, George Ellis.
yes,
No.
George.
Just a question, refresh my memory on where all the drainage is going to go on the south end of that development, back where it ties into Westbrook Downs. Do I assume that it's going to the west?
Yes, and there'll be several detention ponds. If you see the picture she's got on the screen now, all those shaded areas are detention ponds to slow that water down. But as it is now, that water's coming out of Westbrook Downs onto and coming down that the west line of those lots that are on that the far east road that runs north south. There's a drainage swale there between those detention ponds. So
West. Okay.
Did that answer your question, George?
Yes, thank you.
Was there any other questions from the audience or the Plan Commission?
I did see a hand raised.
Okay,
I don't know if it's still. Yes.
I can't
Uh,
see it, so you,
Doug Turnipseed?
Yeah,
Did
so my wife and I have a question. I think last year when we were at this the meeting about phase one, in order to start phase two, we were under the impression that the second exit into Westbrook Downs would need to be constructed. Is that still correct?
Yes, that's correct.
they'll do that at the start of phase two, Kevin, or will they work back that way for phase two?
Well, our code only allows 25 lots with one entrance. So in order to build anything else, they're going to have that other entrance open. So I think what they're, and I could be wrong, but I think the plan is to kind of work from here and back down to meet up with the other lots and then work farther west.
Yeah, my
But that way they
understanding,
complete this road.
my understanding is it will either be built or bonded for before you get any building permits on any of the lots there. So, you know, if he fails to do that, you have the bond to go ahead and make the road yourself. So,
That's true. They could start the lots down at the other end as long as there's right of way and everything ready to go.
That was a good question. Is there any others? Kevin, do you have anything else to add in closing?
No, I mean, Staff is good with it. Tech review, everything's been addressed. I don't see any issues.
Now, without Westbrook Downs maps being up here, will these lots 44 through 98, will they butt up against Westbrook Downs lots, or will there be any standing trees left at all? I've not been back that far, so I'm not sure there are trees, but I know in the
There
front
are
part.
trees.
Okay, in the
Well,
front part, there's,
It won't be necessary to cut trees. I mean, typically people don't cut trees unless they need to, and so there's room to leave the trees that are, a tree line back there.
okay, but those lots will back up to the lots in Westbrook Downs?
Yeah, they have a common property line.
Okay, thank you.
Andy, I have a question for you. George again.
Yes.
On the lots, probably maybe 40 to 43, somewhere in there, of which we are on the other side of that. Right now, that field, the runoff comes right through our yard. Will they be swaling the excavation along that property, along that east property line of the development to cure that runoff problem? Because there's going to be more runoff with houses being there.
And concrete.
Well, do you have the grading plan there, Kevin? Is that part of your presentation?
I don't know that I have it.
Let me
I
look
don't
here.
have it
I'm
in
pulling it
here.
up on my screen here.
If I might add something, this is Doug Turnipseed. I also butt up on that property, and so my property actually drains 3 other properties, and it comes through our yard and down the hill into the creek. So, and it's a major, I mean, I don't want to say it's a major problem, but it is a problem now. So that is a concern that I have, because I don't want to be picking up another 3 or 4 lots draining into our yard, because it'll make us completely.
Yeah, actually,
solid.
I see the area that you're talking about now, and the engineer has written that the rear downspouts will be directed towards the side yard swales, which deposit down to the street. So actually what they'll be doing in those 3 or 4 lots that drain that direction, they'll be cutting the watershed out from you and sending it towards that street. So the water that's coming into you will be less. The water that's collected on the roof is going to go to the west, and the house grading will be positive directed towards the street also. So it's actually making the water that's going there now less than it is now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, is there any more hands? Do you see Kevin or Denise?
I do not see any.
Is there any more questions? Well, I really appreciate the, I know that there was some citizens that were concerned that came to the meetings when this was annexed and addressed their concerns. I appreciate that they knew about this meeting and they're here to ask their questions tonight too. I hope that you're comfortable with those answers and that this turns out to be a benefit for everyone in the area.
Sandy, this is Pat.
Yes.
You remember, which I give the developer a lot of credit, he was going to put apartments in the back.
Yes.
And the people didn't, the neighbors talked about it, and he come back and said, no, he wasn't going to do that. So I commend the developer. I'm very pleased with what he has done, and looks like what he's going to do. So I thank him very, very much.
Okay, is there any other comments? Dan, Pam, Don, anything to say? David?
No.
Nope.
See, I have a question.
Yes.
How are you communicating? Like we just happened to find out today that you weren't doing face-to-face meetings and that there was a Zoom meeting tonight. But I don't think most of our neighborhood even knew about that, to Zoom in. So how do you?
Well, we post the agenda on the town hall, but that's hard to track. So, yeah, this is not a public hearing, right, Kevin? So there was no
It
ad
is,
in the-
and it was noticed. I sent notice out to every single person we have on our agenda list. We posted it all across the outside of the building on the council room where we normally meet and out front. We had it on our website with all the information, which is the most that we can do on short notice. It's unfortunate that we had to do it this way. This makes me nuts. I hate trying to work from my computer at home, but we're doing the best we can.
Well, yeah, we did get a letter. We were communicated about it, but we were planning to come into the meeting room tonight at 6 o'clock. And it was only by chance that we found out that that wasn't happening. And I don't think that anyone in our neighborhood got notice about the Zoom, because there isn't anybody on here but Doug Turnipseed and Dave Willoughby and ourselves. So I just wondered how we would know in the future if we wanted to join a meeting.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have email addresses for everyone that gets notified. So normally what will happen if we plan on this in advance, it'll be in our notice. Like I said, this unfortunately was a result of an emergency, more or less, at our town hall that we're not there right now.
So, Linda, if you would like to get the agendas from the Plan Commission meetings, you can send that request to Denise. And she has it's called like an agenda broadcast. And so she just adds your email, and then you would get all of the agendas for the Plan Commission meeting. You can also be added to the town council meetings if you would like. So the town's website's still under construction. So if Denise,
Well, the new one is.
Yeah, the new one. Are we still
we
getting?
have it on ours.
Oh, the Plan Commission has their own website. So can she go on there and request to be put on the agenda list?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so what is that's just ellettsvilleplanning.org?
Correct.
Okay, and will that help you a little bit, Linda?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, back to the plans. If there's no more questions, then I would pose this for a motion.
This is David Drake. I'll make a motion that we approve the preliminary plat for Charleston Manor Phase 2.
I'll second it. Pat Waslowski.
Denise?
Sandra Hash,
Yes.
Don Calvert,
Yes.
David Drake,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Now, on my agenda, that is the last thing. Is there some more? I mean, I know we got a second agenda. When I went back to print out my packet, I just did the one with the packet. So is there any other items that I've missed?
No, the only change we had made before was adding the adoption of the findings from last month.
Okay.
But that was it. Nothing else. We do have, we'll have another case next month. I have that, but other than that, that's it for this month.
Okay. Is there any parting remarks from the Plan Commission? Would anybody from the audience like to speak?
Oh my, I'm upside down.
You're going to get dizzy in a little while. Okay, I don't see any hands. Do you, Denise or Kevin?
Does not appear so.
Okay, well, if we are all finished with this month's meeting, I would call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Who was the second, please?
Pat.
Pat?
Third,
And then do we need to roll call that one also, Darla?
Please.
Okay, Denise, would you please roll call?
Sandra Hash,
Yes.
Don Calvert,
Yes.
David Drake,
yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Pat Wizalowski.
Yes.
Good
And
night.
I'd like to thank everybody for their patience with us on our very first Zoom meeting for the Plan Commission. I know the documents were a little bit hard to see, but we really thank you for your patience, and we'll see you next month.